Hey y'all, we are back for another dense update. This is the 100th episode.
Is this true? Is this true?
But before we announce the winner, let's get into what you might have missed over the weekend. CrossFit Games, Dave Castro, in collaboration with James Sprague, announced that 26.2 will be held at the Moffett Air National Guard Base in California.
26.2.
Dave, enough, dude, enough. Okay, guys, as Dave was saying, we are here.
I wonder how many takes it took to get that. And I wonder just how much James enjoyed pushing Dave Castro around. James Sprague also officially announced his partnership with his new sponsor, Adidas. We had seen him wearing their clothing and hinting around about it, but it is official. Congratulations, James. And speaking of live announcements, Pedro, Coffee Pots and Wads, posted this about 26.1's announcement.
26.1 will be, sorry, quick relocation. 26.1 will be out of our hands.
We know a lot of his stuff is satire, but if you really dig into it, what's he saying there at the end? 26.1 is going to be out of our hands. Does that mean somebody else is going to be running the CrossFit Games? God, I hope not. Tia Claire Toomey, in partnership with Tier Sport, posted this reel.
I don't like sharing my leader's jersey, and I want to make sure you understand, like, that's my jersey.
Of course, when I see this, I'm going to the comment section. It's, well, I guess she's going again, which I'm all for. Can we get 10? She's a force of nature. And the best comment of all of them, Alex Kazan comments saying, I can't wait to take it from you next year.
That was awesome.
Also announced on Instagram this week, Rogue Invitational with a last-minute invite. Harry Lightfoot will be competing in place of Noah Olson. Now, the Barbell Sven put out an article about this, explaining that he noticed once Harry Lightfoot's invitational post went up that Noah Olson's was taken down. However, no official reason or statement has been made by Rogue or Noah for why he is not competing there anymore. And while we're on the topic of Rogue Invitational, I saw this post by Danielle Brandon. It appears that just a month away from the competition, she still hasn't worked on the sideways pegboard. And y'all remember what happened last year.
Horvath has been signing autographs for the last 10 minutes.
And Toomey's done. And she'll head to the the skier.
Really interesting as we see things start to shake out here from Gondola.
Well, you mentioned that because Emma Tall right now, you would assume would be the...
I mean, Andrew Hiller put out a new video on top 24 CrossFit Games athletes that he thinks are likely using steroids.
So today I'm going to bring you the top 25, top 24 most likely men in the history of the CrossFit Games to have used performance-enhancing drugs.
Wait.
And it's 24, not 25, to show you how selective I was while making this list.
The more videos like this that he puts out, the more I'm convinced that likely very many of the athletes are cycling on and off PEDs. Scott Vandersloot, the man behind media at CrossFit Mayhem, was recently on the Chris Biesterfield podcast.
It's not as like coded maybe as people think. Like a lot of people saw Austin's shirt, said Mayhem Gym, and thought, oh, CrossFit Mayhem de-affiliating, whatever. Like, we were very clear at all of our messaging. Like, we wouldn't be where we are without that methodology, and the plan is not to de-affiliate.
He was asked about the clip that went out of Austin Malleolo and all of the controversy surrounding that.
Although the reel I put together for this podcast we have coming out might make people think that. That's the point of the reel. Now,
Mayhem did a podcast and they talked about the Coaches Congress. They talked about all that controversy. Rich setting the rumors straight. They are not planning to de-affiliate. Rich did have some thoughts about Sevan's comment in regards to the type of people that attend these types of events.
But these places where all the affiliates go, these are the most passionate, committed people. But the kind of people that go to these events are also the most negative people. They're the biggest group of complainers. Now, I'm not saying that they're all complainers.
That's bullshit. I didn't hear one person complain.
They talked a lot about Coaches Congress, some of the questions that Rich was asked during the Q&A. Austin talks about some of the stuff that he did, some of the workouts that they ran people through. They said gobbledygook at least 5 to 10 times throughout the podcast, which I thought was pretty funny. But it was a lot of filler talk. Scott with Clydesdale Media had some thoughts about it.
It's really, I watched all 90 minutes of it or whatever it was. It was really kind of a waste of time.
On that podcast, that Rich Froning Sr. had commented on one of the Sevan live shows, but then they immediately changed the subject and then they never circled back to it. So it makes me wonder if they just didn't want to address the fact that maybe Senior let the cat out of the bag with Berkshire visiting there. When Scott was on the Beasterfield podcast, he had asked if they got any media of Berkshire there.
Let's see. So did you get any video footage of the Berkshire partners that came and worked out before you guys went to London?
No, I didn't get any footage of that.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that Berkshire would come all the way over there just to see what's going on at Mayhem and there wouldn't be a sit down, closed door conversation. You can check the interview out with Scott on Chris Beasterfield's podcast, and you can also check out the full CrossFit Mayhem podcast if you have some time to waste on Mayhem's YouTube channel. Dave Castro was live in studio with Sevan on Saturday evening.
E-break. Does Dave drink alcohol?
Yeah. On the weekends, Monday through Thursday, I don't. Why'd you start watching The Chosen?
Okay. Because you recommended it, Dave.
Yes, I did.
And they also drink a lot of Topo Chico.
See you, Dave Castro, drink water, and his water drinking habits. It's all you can see for the rest of the interview.
Oh, you came in with your own Topo Chico? Is bad for you? Every channel, were you cool? Fit again, too.
I had to actually rewatch the thing because I got so distracted.
Sevan wastes no time. He dives right into it. He asks Dave about the athlete meeting at Wodapalooza SoCal.
And what was the purpose of the meeting?
When you look at the history of the sport and our engagement and of the games, we had a fuck ton of touch points with the athletes. And you remember this. And here's what I'm talking about.
Sevan had planned to play a series of clips of an interview that Patrick Fellner did with Coffee Pods and Wads. However, Dave was not having it.
Just fucking kill that shit. I don't want to watch this fucking guy talk. I'll answer the questions without watching. I'm not going to watch a stupid fucking clip.
If I don't say this, if I don't show this, people are going to be like, hey, you mischaracterized it or you said it wrong.
Fine, go ahead. Play the clip.
Okay, thank you.
How many times are you going to do this?
Okay, fuck it. I'm not doing it. Okay.
Now, I had heard that in this meeting, Patrick Fellner was pretty bitter and passive aggressive toward Dave when he asked questions, which I don't think anyone is surprised by. And mostly everyone else was pretty chill. And then Tia being the clear leader of the conversations.
But this epiphany I'm talking about having was really at that moment in this meeting in Wodapalooza, and just watching her and listening to her and seeing her speak amongst her cohort. And everyone there is obviously looking up to her because of what she's done.
Dave also talks about the World Fitness Project and the fact that Heber and Mars tried to arrange a conversation between them and the World Fitness Project. And Andrew Hiller talks about this on his new video.
Very clear from the beginning with the WFP. We would talk to them, and last year we would have worked with them. If they wanted to have been a semifinal, we would have done that. And zero, nothing from them.
Clipped this and put it on Instagram. I put it up against Will Moorhead saying that they had done everything to try to not impose on the CrossFit Games season. What a ridiculous statement. If you were to do everything that you could do to not impose, you would certainly take the phone call or make the meeting that Heber and Marsh tried to set up with Dave and the World Fitness Project. It sounds nice, but it's a lie. But if I were to be naive and take Will at his word at it, which I think would be really dumb, I don't even know how naivety would work here. You would just have to be stupid to believe the things that Will's saying in relation to that.
He also brings up the fact that this last year, people were saying no to open announcements.
Remember this?
Now you have people saying no to open announcements because they're worried how it'll make them look in the community.
Yes.
Associating with us.
Yes. And there's people out there who've said there's big athletes who've said, hey, I will do nothing moving forward to support anything that HQ does.
Just wondering if we're calling out adult bullies these days, or are we just calling out weird men and women, weird men and women, freaks, you know? Anyways, just wondering if we're publicly calling out bullies, because I got some bullies to call out.
They don't even have CrossFit on their fucking Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yet they're living, fucking breathing taking full advantage of the ecosystem.
Yep, absolutely.
He's right. You leverage this sport, this community for your celebrity, for your followers on Instagram, for your sponsorships, for everything, your livelihood, for views on your documentary. And you think that everything you put out on the internet is somehow off limits to the public to talk about. I mean, come on. It's not like you don't want the attention. You just don't want the attention that makes you appear to be exactly the person that you are.
Well, you're fucking putting your entire life out there. Of course, people are interested in what you're who you're dating, what's going on in your dating life. Whatever hate and attention or negativity any of these athletes think they're getting, I've had it 100 times worse.
You personally.
Me personally.
I know that. I trip on that too. I ass pound you on this show like every Monday.
It's a really good show. If you haven't seen it already, highly recommend you go back and watch it. It is on this YouTube channel. I just want to say very quickly before we spin the wheel and pick the winner, I told y'all I don't do mushy stuff, but I am very grateful to everyone who's been watching along this journey with me for the first 100 episodes. Also want to thank the sponsors of the show, Sarah Cox with Biomex Peptides. I've spent some time getting to know her this year, and she's just such a cool chick. It's probably because she's Australian. Also, John Gonzalez with Herd Athletics. And then, of course, Sevan.
My relationship with Jenny was I just saw how hard she was working on Instagram, and I liked her content. And I just reached out to her and said, hey, it would be cool if you made a YouTube show, and I'd love to host it.
If it hadn't have been for him, I don't think I would have transitioned to YouTube ever, which is crazy. It's time to spin the wheel. So here we go. Tough Cookie, you are the lucky winner. You are going to get a Herd Athletic belt. You're going to get a first edition Dense Updates t-shirt from Vindicate, a bag of Paper Street coffee, a bag of High Ground beef chips, 1 year of Sentinel training, and a BPC 157 and beef tallow. Don't tell anyone you took it so you don't get banned from the open like Taylor.
That dense bitch?